This is the Donner L1 Essential, and this is a pretty cool mono synth, which is modeled after the Roland SH-101, I believe. This is a synth that is extremely easy to operate, and it's very simple. What you see is what you get. You don't really have any presets or anything like that. And it comes like this, like a desktop synth, but you can also add this keyboard that connects magnetically. So that's pretty cool. So let's just dive straight in and take a closer look at this synth. Now, this is a very easy synth to operate because it has just these sliders here that operate all the sounds, and it's very visual and you can just easily know exactly what you're doing. So from left to right you have the Portamento or glide, you have the Modulator, which is the LFO, and then you have the VCO, which is the oscillator that controls the sound, and here you have the source mixer. So this synth has 5 different waveforms. So sub, square, saw, and triangle, and noise. And then you can also route in an external input. And then you have the filter. So that's a pretty standard filter. It's a low-pass filter. So it has the frequency here and the resolution here. Then you can choose whether you want the envelope, the LFO, or the keyboard to modulate the frequency of the filter. Next you have an envelope 1, which is used for the filter and the pulse width. Finally, envelope 2, which is used for the oscillator. And on the far right here you have the VCA, which decides what amplifies the VCO, and you can choose between envelope 2, gate, cycle, and drone. And we'll look at that later. So, firstly, now we have the sequence running, so we can start mixing in the various waveforms, so you can hear what that sounds like. So let's start with the sub. Okay, so now we have a very quick attack. So let's just open the sustain a little bit. And you can also switch the octave of the sub oscillator. So now let's add some square. That's a square by itself. Saw and square. Only saw, triangle, noise. Then you can also mix in the external in, but I don't have an external in. So now you can start designing your sound. So you can see that's very intuitive, and it's just very easy to just crank the sliders however you want. And then you can modulate the filter. So now there's nothing modulating the filter. If we do, for example, LFO. You can hear. You can change the rate of the filter here. You can also change the waveform of the LFO. And then we can use the envelope 1. And it's even more audible if we open up the resolution. And of course, you can use the filter without any modulation whatsoever. You can also add in a Portamento. So if we change from the sequencer to the keyboard, and you can crank it pretty extremely. You also have pulse width modulation that you control here, where it says PWM mod. And as with the filter, you can decide what source you want for that, but you don't, instead of a mixer, you have this toggle right here. So if we have, right now it's on LFO, so you can hear what that sounds like. This is with no pulse width modulation, or very slow. So you can hear, you can get a pretty rich sound using that. And you can use the envelope. If you put it all the way up. So it's fairly subtle on the envelope setting, but it's you can still hear it. Yeah, and then likewise you have the pitch modulation. So you have two of them. This one is being controlled by the LFO. And if you go to, for example, the square, you can hear very radically, get some R2D2 sounds. And this pitch modulation is being affected by the envelope 1. So that's pretty much the gist of the synth engines. And like you can tell, it's very easy to get a nice overview. Next, let us look at the sequencer. Sequencer is pretty cool, easy to use. So now I picked an empty sequence. And in order to program a sequence, you just use these buttons right here. Make sure it's toggled to sequencer. And for simplicity's sake, I will connect the keyboard. And that's very easy to do. Whoop, that's it. And now you can see it lights up and it's ready to go. So, in order to create a sequence, you just press record. You see the current step blinks. So, for example, if we just do a little arpeggio. This is immediately turning into Stranger Things. Okay, I can hear what that sounds like. And you have 4 bars of 16 steps for each pattern. And then you can also link the patterns together in a song mode. So let's start over. We can do a... so we can just do a regular pattern. And right here you say you have tie and rest. So these are also very useful to use in order to connect notes or to create some movement by adding rests. So the second note you hear is when the sequencer moves to the next step, there's already a sound there, so it just tells me what sound I have already recorded, or what note. Tie there. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. So that's pretty easy and it's very useful. So if you want to sync it up to other gear, you can just MIDI clock it through the MIDI import or through the USB. And then whatever sequences you want playing, and then you can manipulate them on the go. Okay, next let's look at the ARP. So on the arpeggio feature, you have a pretty standard arpeggio. And you can choose various ways to arpeggiate by pressing down Shift, and then you'll see the different settings down here where you have down, down, up, down, up, and random. So if we do, for example, down, up, you can press hold, and then it keeps going by itself. And now a cool feature is that you can manipulate what steps of the arpeggio will be played. So for example, if we don't want, or if you only want eighths, you just remove the second 16th. So that's a pretty cool and useful thing that lets you add some life to your arpeggios, and you can kind of manipulate it on the go. If we just have an A minor playing, you can create some randomness by just changing on the fly what you're doing. So that's pretty cool. Another cool thing is that if you don't have the keyboard, if you don't buy the keyboard, or if you don't have it with you, you can use the keyboard feature right here. And I think it's tuned to an A minor, so you have the, and it's useful if you're making a sequence. And then you can just make it like that. So again, if we set it to an empty slot like that, go to keyboard, press record first, and then you can just go like that. That's pretty easy to do. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the keyboard. So the keyboard is very simple. It doesn't really have any like bells and whistles, but it does have, you know, whatever you need to use as a MIDI keyboard. It has the USB-C that will connect to, you know, any DAW or whatever. It has a MIDI out port, so if you want to use a MIDI cable, and it has an input for a sustain pedal. But where it really shines is together with the L1, because it does give a lot of extra flexibility. Like if you want to change MIDI channel, it's very simple to just use the shift button and whatever channel you want. And there's a tiny little display here that gives you all the information you need. So if I now, you probably won't be able to see it, but it tells you what MIDI channel you're on and what port you are. All of this information it gives you just easily right on this tiny little display. And another cool thing is, you know, that you press hold here, that lights up there, and vice versa. So that's just a very cool detail, and it's a very cool synth. It actually sounds really good. It has sometimes some grounding noise. I don't know if that's because of the power supply I'm using or what. Like, I don't hear the grounding noise now, but I hear it in my office. So, you know, it's probably has to do with my power supply, and maybe it doesn't have a very good grounding protector. I've also had success with using like a little ground noise filter like this. Build quality is all plastic all around. It feels solid, but it doesn't feel like, you know, a Moog or anything like that. But for the price, that's really to be expected. So this is a really great synth, and I think it's great for beginners because it's so easy to get into the controls, and it makes the basics of synthesis very easy to get into. It sounds great, and it also plays very well with other gear. They can easily be controlled by Grooveboxes or your DAW, and they can be daisy chained with other synths.
And also the price is very reasonable. I think currently the price for just a synthesizer is $259. And if you want to support my channel, you can use the link in the description. And also a quick disclaimer is that this synth was sent to me by Donner for free, but they have not told me what to say about it, and they won't see this video before it is released. Now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And in the meantime, you can check out this video that talks about the Donner D1 drum machine.